Hey there, it's Amy. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and blogger at crazybeautiful.com. Today I'm going to use one of the new stamp sets that will be in the 2015-16 Stampin' Up! Catalog. It's called I Think You're Great, and it's just a really cool graphic stamp set. And I'm going to have some fun with it today. I'm also using the High Five stamp set. This one is retiring, so out with the old, in with the new. Let's just use them together today while we still can. I'm going to stamp this image onto just a piece of scrap paper, and I'm doing it on top of my paper piercing mat because these are pretty solid images, both of them, and you really want to make sure you have good coverage and good even pressure when you're stamping. Then I'm going to take the Way to Go and I'm going to stamp it onto right on top here. But again, just look at it, make sure it's nice and even and evenly coated before you stamp it. You can wait a second also just to give the ink time to transfer over. So now I've kind of just created a fun little word bubble there. I'm gonna fussy cut mine because I want it to be an element just on my page, so I'm gonna just do that real quick. I've got my card base here. It's 4.5 wide by 11 inches tall. It's going to fold at the top, so I've scored it at 5.5. So grab a straight edge. We are just going to strike a line across here with your pencil, and I've got my phrases that I want to use from the High Five stamp set and my crushed curry ink. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take each one. I'm going to start with the High Five, and I don't have my stickers on the back because I think it just sticks to the block a lot better without them. So I'm just going to make sure I have the words in the right direction, and I'm going to stamp along this line. So ink it up and just estimate. And I'm gonna do sweet over here. So again, just get it on there, make sure it's going in the right direction, stamp it, and then I'm just using that line to guide me here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little. And then the last one, it says "You're fabulous," but the "your" part isn't gonna fit, and I don't mind because I think fabulous works really well by itself. And so I'm just going to take my stamp and the edge of my ink pad and watch it as I ink it up so as to not get that adjacent word that I don't want. Okay, does that make sense? And then just for insurance, if you want, you can grab some washi tape. And I think I maybe just didn't do a great job because I can't see when I'm doing it on the camera. Just cover that word next door up. Then go ahead and line it up and stamp it. You could use your Stamp-A-Majig if you want, but what I'm kind of doing is just lining up the edge of my stamp with the next word over. So you're kind of guaranteed a little bit of cushion. Now before we move on, I just want you to take an eraser and erase that line. Okay, there we go. The next step, I'm going to actually use one of my brand new blender pens. Look how clean that tip is. I've actually used it a couple times today. But I'm going to take my crushed curry ink pad back here, and just a little bit that has gotten in the lid, I'm gonna get my straight edge, and you can do this without having something that's see-through. Mine, because it's see-through, is actually pretty handy. You could just do your bottom line first, and we're gonna just get a little bit of the lighter ink. Now I'm not dipping it in this really dark right here. I really just want to use the fluid that's on my blender pen and a little bit of the ink that I've stamped already. So I'm just going to take that and draw a little bit of a line and then go up to the top and draw a little bit of a line. Okay, so you can see it's just barely there. And I'm going to use my blender pen. Now this is a little bit delicate. I don't really know what the right word is, but you want to move kind of fast and you don't want to go back over it because the fluid that's in here will be getting your paper a little bit wet. So you're going to kind of get one shot to do this. You're just going to take and blend what's there. Okay, so I just kind of wanted a light line. If you would like to come back and add a little bit more ink to reinforce that line, you can always come back and add more ink. But when you just take the blender pen over the top of your paper without new ink, it's just going to kind of drag the paper around with it. So I'm just going to start from the other side and bring that line back a little heavier so it kind of evens it out a little bit. And then just until you feel like your paper is getting a little bit too wet, you can blend that up a little bit or add a little bit more. So, but what will happen is your paper will kind of start pilling, which it did there a tiny bit, but I think you get the idea. Just kind of a fun way to add a little accent line through your card background. And then again, just wipe your blender pen clean and it'll be ready to use for your next project. I have a piece of Night of Navy that I want to add to just add one more matte here. Let me zoom back out so I'm not continually going off of the camera. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. So I'm going to put this here, and then I'm going to take my fabulous confetti, my stars confetti border punch, is that what it's called? And just get myself some fun little sequins. All right, that was tough. Only because my table gives quite a bit. So you're just gonna take your either your glue pen or your Tombow adhesive, and a tweezers would probably work really well. I'm just gonna take these and put a couple dots down and put my stars on. I made this card for the Friday Mashup Challenge this week, so stop by and see what the other design team members came up with and submit a card of your own. We'd love to have you on there. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.